This is Sherry Hardman with Accessible Attractions. And today, what I wanted to talk about was how do you get comped at a casino? How do you make it so that the casino will be sending you offers to come and stay for free? It's not hard to do, and I'll show you some tips. First, let me tell you how I started getting comps from the hotels and the mistakes that I feel that I made. So the first couple times I went to Vegas, I never got any offers of comps. The third time I went to Vegas, I did, and I didn't know anything about comps. I didn't really know how it worked. I did sign up for the player's card, and this was at the M Life card. I was at Excalibur, and I stayed a lot just within that hotel playing, and actually a slot host came out and talked to me. She found me at a machine, told me that I could be getting some great comps, including like food and the room and everything, and to check in at the M Life desk before I left. Well, then it turned out like everything I did that trip got paid for. So I figured out how it works. And this is, if you don't play games, if you don't gamble, you're not going to get free offers because they want you there gambling. So then I started getting free offers from Excalibur. All right. But then after a while, I decided that I was starting to get, Excalibur is a lower end casino, but I actually enjoy Excalibur. I like the Thunder from Down Under. The slots are pretty loose there. And I like Dick's, Last Resort. And I think it's a fun place to stay. It's not too hoity-toity. It's kind of middle to lower class as far as, if we were ranking casinos, which, I don't like to do. But I like Excalibur personally. The rooms are mediocre. The pool is mediocre. But, I have no complaints about it whatsoever, except don't eat crab legs at the buffet when buffets start up again. But that's a whole different story. So what happens is that if you do all your gambling at a certain hotel, and it's a little bit different now, wherever you do more gambling, you're going to get better offers there, period. So if you really like Bellagio, for example, and you want to stay at Bellagio next time, do all your gambling at Bellagio. Now, all the M Life ones are all related, but I still say that you get more comps from the actual casino where you have a host and they know you and you go there. So if you set your sights on a place you want to stay, then that's where you should do the majority of your gambling. So I quit staying at Excalibur so much, although every time I went, I won like a jackpot. Then I started staying at Treasure Island. Now the comps at Treasure Island are amazing. The other thing about Treasure Island that's great is that the resort fees are optional. So if you don't need Wi-Fi in your room, my glasses are crooked. If you don't need Wi-Fi in your room, just don't pay for the resort fee. You don't need it. I never pay for the resort fee when I go there. And they'll give you like hundreds of dollars free play. Of course, you're never going to win anything there. Maybe one time I did. But that's the only hotel that has actually sent a limo to come get me, which, by the way, since we're accessible attractions, the limos are not wheelchair accessible. So if you are traveling with your own chair and they're going to send a limo to come get you, unless you can fold that sucker up, you are SOL. So just know, maybe eventually they'll wise up to that kind of thing. But that's the case there with a limo coming to get you. So my next favorite hotel that I thought, well, I'd like to start staying somewhere a little nicer than Treasure Island. Because Treasure Island, I would say, is about at the same level as Excalibur. People that hang out there wear shorts and jeans and drink beer, and they're great, fabulous Americans and non-Americans and people that I'd love to hang out and party with. But if you want to get a little fancier, so then I wanted to stay at the Mirage. Now, granted, the Mirage is kind of an old people hotel, and I know I'm using generalities. So there are exceptions to every rule, but it's a little older clientele that stays at the Mirage. I'll tell you what I like about the Mirage. Sure is pretty here. I love just the plush foliage when you go in that one door and there's that whole atrium type area. I mean, to me, I love the fact that the dolphin habitat's right there, the pool areas. It's not spectacular, but it's lovely. It's really lovely. So I just aesthetically like the Mirage. It's like a little step up. But if you're young and you're really into partying, might not be the place for you. We all find our own groove and we all have our own preferences. So I've stayed at the Mirage a couple times. Now, I will tell you something about the Mirage. Okay, you can see I have this. So, you can pretty much assume I'm a big girl, and I am a big girl. And like you see in my intro, I do ride a scooter. And when I stayed at the Mirage, I don't know if it was the first or the second time, the shower chair broke on me while I was sitting on it, and I got injured. The next time I went back, I saw they had reinforced the shower chairs with metal legs that hit the ground to stabilize. So you should feel safe in there. And I can do a whole thing too on how to get the right wheelchair accessible room for you. But I'm just saying, the other thing about Mirage is that they have lots of elevators, and the elevators are divided up in such a way that rarely do you have to ride an elevator with someone else. Treasure Island, the elevators suck. You're just always waiting for one. So Mirage has really nice elevator service, if that matters to you. And it does to me. So that's the thing. So if you find that you want to stay at a certain property, and then, okay, so if you like the M Life hotels, which are, I don't want to say anything wrong, I might miss some. Mandalay Bay, Luxor, Excalibur, New York, New York. I think like Bellagio. Yeah, you're going to have to look this up for me because I don't know right off the top of my head. So if you want to stay at one of those places, then those are the ones that you should gamble at. If you want to stay at Caesar's Palace, then do your gambling at Caesar's properties. And that's my advice on how to get comps. Then, always make sure that you use your card every time. And then when you go to check out, go back to the desk and have them check and see if you've earned any comps. And a lot of times they will, oh, I forgot to say, like, one of the main things. So while you're at that hotel and you're trying to earn comps there, all the food that you eat in that hotel, charge it to your room. Now you got to be ready at the end to pay up. So if you have trouble keeping track of your money, because so like what I do when I go is I use my cash for gambling and I use my credit card for meals and stuff like that. So cash or like, my debit card I use for cabs, not even shows, anything like that. But my food my food I charge to my room, which you can do throughout properties, and show tickets. If they're like within MGM, just charge it to your room. Then I put that all on my credit card so at the end, a lot of times they take a lot of that stuff off. They'll take the resort fees off. They'll take your meals off sometimes, depending on how much you gamble. Now, I can't speak for table games. I don't play table games. I'm just saying this is how you do it for slots. If you don't gamble that much, then just go spend your money however you want it. But if you want to start earning comps, this is the way to do it. So like I've already got a trip for April scheduled, and I'll be staying at the Mirage. I have a trip for May, and I have a penthouse suite. Did I say Mandalay? No, that's at Mandalay Bay. And then in July, I'm also staying at Mandalay Bay. And those have all been comped already. So it's worth it, It's not worth it. It's really not worth it. If you're a compulsive gambler and you don't go blow all your money. But if you have a certain amount of fun money that you can blow and you like to sit at a slot machine, then do it. It makes you feel like a big shot when you can, tell your friends to come stay with you at a penthouse suite that you've been comped. It's fun, so that's how you do it. Now, as for booking a wheelchair accessible room, first thing you need to know, like, do you need a walk-in shower? Like, I need a shower chair. Do you need just things lowered for you? Do you need the doorbell or the doors to be visual instead of audio? So I know on MLife, when you go and like you can log in to MLife and you can look at your offers. There is a little button that says handicap accessible or something, accessible rooms. And you click that and it filters and it just shows you only the accessible rooms. And it will differentiate the difference of what kind of room that you need. So those are my tips for how to get an accessible room and how to get comped at a casino. Be sure to tune in next time to Accessible Attractions for more trip reports and Vegas tips, whatever else I can think of that I think you guys might like. Be sure to subscribe and like and do all that good stuff so I can keep coming back.